Welcome back to Epcot, everybody. It is Nick Chappell back for another episode of Nick Does Disney. It is a beautiful March night here in Epcot. It was blazing hot earlier, but typical Florida weather. The sun goes down, the humidity goes down. It is going to be a perfect night to walk around Flower and Garden, eat some tasty food, see the beautiful sights, and of course do some rides. So let's go start wandering around World Showcase and let's try some new booths that I haven't tried so far this year. I came hungry, so let's do this. I will say this time of the day is absolutely beautiful at Epcot. Golden hour's coming up, and it was like 92 with the heat index earlier. Now, down into the 70s. Perfect. This is one of my favorites too. I love the Lion King. Look at Rafiki. He's so strong. Speaking of some of my favorite topiaries, how can you not love Figment in any form? But topiary Figment, also very, very cool. Looking good, buddy. Looking good. So I'm super excited because I didn't know if I was going to make it for the butterfly garden or not because it closes at dusk, and dusk is almost here. So we're going to sneak on in and see some beautiful butterflies. The Goodness Garden Butterfly House. Let's do this. How long will it take for us to find our first butterfly? You guys seeing any? I'm seeing a lot of very pretty flowers. Not seeing any butterflies yet. They didn't turn in for the night already, did they? Butterflies, where are you? Oh, there goes one. One little butterfly fluttering around. Huh. Look through the screen out there. Joy hanging out. She sees us. Barely see her through the screen. How cool. Here you go. Learn some things about butterfly wings. Pause this and learn something. All right, so we saw Joy behind the screen. Now let's go see her more up close and without the blurriness of a screen. How cool is that? Joy's got music and everything. Hi, Joy. Looking good. I like your little windmill thing. That's cool. Very nice. That is one thing that I love that Disney's been doing since the reopening of the parks has been all these like little pop-up character meet and greets, socially distanced meet and greets, so you can get close-ish and take selfies with them instead of the old school meet and greets where you would saddle up right next to them and take your picture, give them a hug and all that stuff. So they're doing the best they can. I think they're really cool. I've seen Pooh out there catching butterflies too, so I love them. I hope they keep those things around. All right, so first up on my food adventures tonight for Flower and Garden Festival is going to be the Honey Bee-Stro. This booth is always super good, so we're gonna go pop in line. It's a little shorter than when I saw it the last time I was here, so I didn't get to try it then. Let's try it now. All right, you guys, so I just got my food at the Honey Bee-Stro, and now we're gonna look at it, and we're gonna talk about it. Starting over here, this is the Tupelo honey and corn, or sweet corn spoon bread with jalapenos, bacon, and house-made whipped honey butter. That looks super good. I'm stoked for that one. Then over here, we have the lavender honey mustard marinated chicken flatbread with whipped honey ricotta cheese, marinated vegetables, and purple haze lavender goat cheese. I'm super stoked for that. And anytime I see a cheesecake on the menu, 10 out of 10 times, I'm gonna get it. This is the local wildflower honey mascarpone cheesecake with orange blossom honey, whipped cream, whipped honey, crystallized honey, honeycomb, dehydrated honey, and fennel pollen meringue kisses. So there's all different kinds of honey on this. So again, all three of these look very good over at the Honey Bee-Stro, and now it is time to eat them. I think I shall start with the flatbread because that is the easiest thing out of all these to eat, since it's meant to be eaten with your hands. You can't go wrong with the flatbread, right? Oh wow. And the first thing you taste is that goat cheese on there. And since it's purple haze lavender goat cheese, and you can taste it, man. That is super, super creamy cheesy. I really dig that a lot. And the chicken on here is awesome as well. What did I say it was? It was lavender honey marinated chicken. It's very good. I love this booth. So this is the booth you're gonna find right across from like where Starbucks is, right when you exit kind of World Showcase. It's just on the outskirts of that before you head over to Future World. And it is Festival of the Arts. It was the deconstructed booth. During Food and Wine, it's the Hawaii booth. So any booth they put here for a food festival, it's always gonna be good. And this is a good start. I mean, it's hard to score flatbread, but this has got so much flavor in it. Really, really good. All All right, so that was the flatbread, and the flatbread was excellent. Now it is time. Oh, I just got that honey butter off of there. This is the spoon bread. Yes, the Tupelo honey and sweet corn spoon bread. It's got the house-made whipped honey butter, which I just knocked everywhere. So I guess you can kind of spread it around, treat it like a butter, kind of like a little piece of cornbread, but it's spoon bread. I don't know what the difference is between cornbread and spoon bread. I guess I'm not sophisticated enough to know the difference, but I do know it is nice and hot, that's for sure. So let's give it a shot. Yeah. I guess it's just like a cornbread, but man, that butter is good, and it's good too because it's all hot on this spoon bread, not cornbread. I'm gonna keep calling it cornbread, but you can definitely taste the honey in the butter. I love like dressed up butters. Like, you know, with the Wave, they have that it's like pecan butter or whatever over there. Anytime you can kind of gussy up butter, I'm all in, and I love whipped butter. And this is super good. I have tried a lot of different booths at Flower and Garden so far this year. And this little spoon bread might be my favorite so far. That butter is some of the best butter I've ever had. The bacon is fantastic on top. It is really nice and warm still. It's super soft, and look at all that corn in there. I love corn. This is a 10 out of 10 dish for sure. Highly would recommend it at the Honey Bistro. And as it should be, you saved the best for last. It is time to try out the local wildflower honey mascarpone cheesecake with like 8 million different kinds of honey in there, like I told you. All right, like I said, I am a sucker for cheesecake. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of everything on here because it's all split up. There's like the whipped cream with the honey in there. There's the honeycomb on the side. And then the little puffs on here too with honey. This is a huge bite, but I wanna get all the flavors together to see what it tastes like all combined. Okay. I've had a lot of desserts so far at Flower and Garden Festival from many a different booth. None of them even come close to how good this is. The cheesecake is just popping with that honey flavor, and it is super duper light, and honeycomb. You can put a honeycomb on anything and make it good. This is really good honeycomb. I love the little honey meringue puffs on here as well. The honey whipped cream, the whole thing is just beautiful, and there's like little edible flowers on there as well. This is a 10 out of 10 dish as well. Honey Bistro is just knocking it out of the park. Can you tell I like this dessert? The only thing I didn't eat was the plate, and if they made that out of honey, I would have eaten it too. So yes, the Honey Bistro, absolute 10 out of 10, would recommend, and I'll probably be back for more. Honey Bistro absolutely knocked it out of the park. All three items were 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, 20 out of 10. The best food booth I've had at a food festival in a long, long time. Better than any booth at a Food and Wine, Festival of the Arts, Festival of the Holidays. It doesn't matter. I've never had a booth where every food item that I had was like a 10 out of 10. That was wonderful. Nothing for the rest of the night's gonna top that, and it was the first thing I ate, so hopefully it doesn't just all go downhill from there. Yeah, these barges are really that big. I mean, you see the photos online and everything, and you think, well, they're not that big. They're really that big, and as you can see, it kind of does obstruct some of the view, but all the testing that I've seen makes the show look like it's going to be pretty friggin' awesome, so hopefully it's worth it. But yeah, they're really that big. But no matter how big those barges might be, we're still gonna get all these beautiful sunsets, and it's not gonna take away from how awesome World Showcase is at this time of the day. It's still beautiful. Stop number 2 brings us to the Mexico booth, where I think we're gonna get those tostada, which sounds super good. Alrighty, so I just got my food from the Mexico booth, the Jardin de Fiestas, and I switched it up at the last second. I was gonna go with the tostada, but I got the tostada at, I believe it was Festival of the Arts, and I wasn't super impressed with it, so this time I went with the Taco Vampiro, which is braised beef on a corn tortilla with crispy grilled Monterey Jack cheese and salsa ranchero. Nothing wrong with any of those words in that description. Sounds super duper good, so I'm going to check this out and see if it was better than the tostada that I got at the last festival. All right, so I think I'm gonna try like the little corn side salsa thingy that comes on it. It's really good. Got some nice cheese. Ooh, you know what? It's actually got some kick on there. Ooh. I don't know if it's that salsa ranchero or what, but it is definitely a little crispy. So from what I understand, the taco, they put the Monterey Jack down first and treat it like a quesadilla, so they make a giant, think of it like a cheese crisp. They harden that up, and then they put the taco, a soft shell taco, over that. So the hard part on the outside is actually a bunch of Monterey Jack that they just crisped up on the grill. All right, went ahead and cut this bad boy in half. Now let's see how it tastes. That's really good. Such a cool idea to kind of lay the cheese out make it a giant cheese crisp, then put the taco in there, then the beef. This thing is jam-packed full of flavor. The pork tostada that I got at the last festival, the pork belly itself was just like way overcooked. It was hard, it was chewy, it just wasn't very good. This is a million times better. So if you come here to Flower and Garden, it's going all the way until July 5th. If you go to the Mexico booth, get the taco, pass on the tostada. You'll thank me later. All right, we are 2 for 2 tonight. The Honey Bistro, now the Mexico booth. That was super duper tasty. Clean Plate Club. I don't know if you guys made the food or not, but it was darn good, fellas. Maybe since we just ate that from the Mexico Pavilion, we should go over there and ride 3 Caballeros. All right, let's head inside and take a little food break for a little ride break. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that little ride on 3 Caballeros, the Grand Fiesta Tour, if you will, but you're gonna get sick of me showing you all these views of the sky, but it is just beautiful. So let's go find some more food. All right, next stop, the Bauer Market here in Germany, and I am coming for the toasted pretzel bread. So we're gonna see that in just a second, but here's a look at their menu. Potato pancakes sound good, but that also sounds a little too heavy for me right now. Maybe another time. All right, just got my item from the Bauer Market at the Germany Pavilion. Things are gonna get a little hard to see. It's gonna get dark pretty fast out here, but with views like that, I don't care. But I did find a trash can to eat on, but I digress. Back to the food talk. This is the toasted pretzel bread, as you can see, topped with Black Forest ham and melted Gruyere cheese. This is always a fan favorite. I try to get it pretty much every Flower and Garden Festival. I mean, it's pretzel with cheese and ham, and it's toasted, and it's melty goodness. I mean, you really can't screw this one up, right? I guess we'll find out. All right, so with this one, I think you can pretty much just kind of pull it apart. Yeah, this pulls apart nice and easy. So I'm just gonna go right on in, take a nice big bite. Again, ham, cheese, bread, what's not to like? It's a winning combination, man. I mean, Black Forest ham is my favorite kind of ham. And Gruyere cheese, I love. I love pretzel bread. I mean, look at this. All this cheesy gooiness on there. And it's soft. I've got it a couple times where it was a little overcooked and then the pretzel bread got really hard. And that doesn't make a very pleasurable experience when eating it. But this is perfect. It's warm, but it's nice and it's soft. The ham is just wonderful. I am 3 for 3. I'm having a great time at Flower and Garden Festival so far. I've done some booths so far this year at this festival where it was very hit or miss. Sunshine Griddle, for instance, one of the newer booths here with all the brunch items. Hit and miss over there. I've had some other things that weren't great. Everything I've had tonight has been wonderful. And this is another one you can add to the list of things you should get at Flower and Garden Festival. Yep, I'm a member of the Empty Plate Club yet again. You done good, Germany. You done good. 3 for 3 tonight, guys. Honey Bistro, Bauer Market, the Mexico Pavilion. All 3 of those I would highly, highly recommend. I'm going to do another booth or 2 before I stop on the food. But why don't we take, you know what? Let's go back to Future World and do a couple of rides, and then we'll get some more food. What do you say? Let's go do some rides. All right, done in Future World on our little ride break, and I walked back over to World Showcase, kind of picked off where we left off. Italy is just so beautiful at night, and over to the right-hand side, they're actually making a brand new gelato stand, which I'm super stoked to try out. I think that'll be pretty yummy. Any new food addition is okay with me. You've got Spaceship Earth off in the distance, and look at this, right in Italy, Lady in the Tramp topiary. I know it's a little hard to see. It's getting a little dark out here, but that's pretty awesome. All right, we are at another booth now, Isla Fresca. They've got lamb curry, sugar cane shrimp skewers, and tropical mousse cups. So I think we're gonna try something from here. That curry sounded pretty good. All right, I just got my food from La Isla Fresca. I think that's how you say it. I'm not 100% sure. I could be butchering it, but it's from that booth over there where Brazil's booth usually is, but I came over to Morocco because there's plenty of seating over here and there was not over there. So let's get down to brass tacks here. This is the lamb curry with sweet plantains and rice. I wanted to say sweet potatoes, but those are plantains, and I love plantains. This smells super good. I love curry and plantains, so that's gonna be awesome. Little sweet and spicy combo there, maybe, we'll see. And then for their dessert, they have a tropical mousse cup, which has layers of passion fruit cake, coconut mousse, and tropical fruit glaze with fresh pineapple. Sorry, again, I know it's a little dark. Maybe I can hold this up a little bit. It's a little more light on there. But yeah, that looks really good. So I love fruity kind of desserts. Both of these look pretty good. So I say it's high time we dive in and see how it is. Yeah, it is definitely way dark over here. I look like I'm in an Ed Wood movie right now or something. So I'll try to make this kind of fast because I know it doesn't look great. I'm just gonna try the rice and the curry part of this first without the sweet plantain. It's very good. The lamb is great. It's cooked perfect. I mean, lamb is another one of those weird meats where it can be like super gamey and it can get really hard, but this is great, nice and soft. Cooked just perfectly. And there's really no spice to this. I was thinking it's curry. It's gonna be a little spicy, right? But there's really no spice to it. Now let's try one of the plantains. And I love plantains so much. Now, let's see how it works, because the plantains are very sweet, because when they cook, they caramelize a little bit. So I'm wondering how it would taste with like a little bit of the lamb as well. So you get maybe that savory, sweet combination. Let's see how it is. In my opinion, you don't want to mix them together. Doesn't really, I mean, you know, it's fine. Individually, they work great. Maybe they're meant to be eaten separately. I don't really know, but the plantains are just kind of thrown right on top there. So maybe push this off to the side, eat them separate, just go bounce back and forth between the savory and sweetness of the plantain. Just kind of go back and forth a little bit, but this is great. I dig it. All right, gonna take a break from that lamb curry and dive on in to this tropical mousse cup, which looks very good. Again, I love fruity desserts, so I'm sure this is gonna be wonderful. There you go. I was able to switch to a spot that had a little more light to it. So as I showed you, we're gonna try this tropical mousse cup. See how it is. It smells great. You can smell all the different fruits in there. I mean, I love pineapple. Coconut's a weird thing for me. Sometimes I can dig it, sometimes not. I like coconut flavored things, but I don't like shredded coconut so much. And like the coconut flakes, I guess it's a texture thing. I love the flavor of coconut, but this does have shredded coconut on the top of it. So if you don't like that, you may not like it. Little chocolate square. White chocolate is white chocolate. Always good. But yeah, this is a solid dessert. If you're looking for something that's not like over the top sweet, if you're not a chocolate person per se, if you're looking for something fruity, this is a really nice option. And again, it's cold. I love cold desserts. My wife and I differ greatly in that, you know, she'll want a piece of cake that's at room temperature. I like my cake nice and cold. This is a nice cold dessert, so this is a win for me. I'm very disappointed in myself. I am a member of the Empty Plate Club, like I've been showing you at every other booth, at the booth we just ate at. But I threw my plate away and I didn't show you, but I promise, just take my word for it. Empty Plate Club yet again. So 4 for 4 tonight. All the food tonight has been perfect. Every time I've been to the festival, this line's been super long, but not so much right now, so let's do it. All right, I'm back to being Ed Wood. It is super dark over here, but pretty much dark everywhere in Epcot right now. So I will try to make this somewhat fast and have a little bit of pork belly here. Just the pork belly. See if they can get it right here. See if they cooked it right. Yeah. Perfect. Totally perfect. It is not overcooked in the least bit. It is nice and moist and juicy. Crispy on the outside. And then you have the carrot and the kumquat that gives it that little bit of sweetness with it too. This is fantastic. The last time I got pork belly was at Festival of the Arts in the deconstructed booth, and it was so overcooked. I got a pork belly tostada at the Mexico booth at a festival recently too. Super overcooked. This one is cooked perfectly. If you nail the pork belly, it's going to be a good dish, and this is a good one. We are 5 for 5 fantastic food booths tonight. Didn't forget that time. 5 for 5 empty plate club tonight. All right, so I'm fooded out for the night. Everything we had tonight food-wise was incredible. But before I call it a night and wrap it up, I want to go back to Future World because there's something I haven't heard or seen yet that I have to see for myself at night. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. Let's go take a walk. But I mean, really, does this view ever get old with this new fountain now? All the colors, the pillars, just the whole thing. It's just so fantastic, guys. And this new music is killer, but this is some of the other new stuff. Not so sure how the colors are going to show up, but if you see the beams of light that kind of shoot across, this new lighting fixture was added in early March, and it will change colors as the lights go through. I'll try to get a little closer to see if it'll show up on camera. But it looks wonderful in person. And up here, we have 12 new flagpoles, 6 on either side of Spaceship Earth, representing all of the different pavilions throughout Epcot. And it is just awesome. So we've got 6 there, pan over, 6 more over there. They've done such a great job, and if they did this good of a job on just the entrance, I can't imagine what the rest of Epcot is going to be like when it's all said and done. It's a little bit of a construction zone kind of vibe right now, but when it is all said and done, boy oh boy, this is going to look awesome. Alrighty everybody, that is going to do it for another Nick Does Disney. I had a fantastic night at Epcot. One of the best nights I've had in a little while here as far as festivals go. I mean, that food was absolutely on point. Every food booth I ate at tonight was awesome. 5 for 5. Every single thing I tried tonight was just wonderful. So, I mean, I've run out of adjectives and words to describe how great all the food was. And of course, everything behind me, those pillars, the fountain, the new music, the flagpoles, the lighting. Epcot is really starting to come together. And this is just the entrance. Once the rest of the park is done, whenever that day may finally be here, we know October 1st we've got Remy, then we've got Cosmic Rewind in the works, the Moana water thing. Lots of stuff coming. Epcot has a very bright future, and I'm looking forward to all of it. So thanks again for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. I'll be back with a lot more videos, so have a great night. It is Nick Chappell for Nick Does Disney. Have a great night, everybody.